Hi, it's Dan from Mason Productions. In this podcast, me and my friends will talk about business, relationships, and mostly rubbish. I would love for you to join me on this journey every Monday at 7 a.m, but only tell people that are down for the journey, no matter what happens. Hi guys, it's Dan from Mason Productions.
And Tyler from Mason Productions.
And we are back for technically, one second, let me just actually get myself in frame. What is technically episode 3 of season 2.
Episode 3, yeah. Now, I'm excited for this one. I mean, but we both are, to be fair.
We are both really excited about this episode.
Yeah. So, this episode... Oh,
whoa,
sorry.
Whoa,
Am I jumping the gun a bit?
Jumping the gun.
Sorry, my bad.
We've got a new segment of the podcast.
Ah, yeah.
Each week we bring in something that we want to talk about real quick.
Yeah. It's like a... Wait, show and tell.
It's like a show and tell.
It's a show and tell, yeah.
And
This week...
So for the
How'd
people that don't know,
including myself.
these are Wellingtons. They are pronounced as Le Chameau.
I was going to ask how you pronounce them.
I don't know how.
Le Chameau.
Basically, guys, I'll just pop these down here. Basically, as I think I recently said on the last podcast, I now go shooting. And I need some good Wellingtons when I'm going on shoots, is basically the answer. So I got myself some Wellingtons to help me through the shooting months. They're the neoprene, so they help when it's freezing cold. Keep my feet nice and warm.
Yeah, because I've had it before. Like when you're in school and you wearing like these crappy
Dunlop.
The Dunlop ones, and you just have your toes just get ice cold.
Yeah, so basically that's my little show and tell. It's a new segment. We'll bring in something each week.
Yeah, we'll take it in turns. One week it'll be Dan, next week it'll be me, and we'll just add a bit of a spice.
Yep. And do you want to give us are you all good? Anything that you want to catch up on since the last time that we've sat down in this lovely room?
No, not really. I mean, I've got an artwork that's going to be going up soon.
Yep, he sent it over. It does look good.
I've got 2 I'm working on. One, I mean, I'll leave it for the podcast because I know we've got a topic coming up on it. But yeah, I to put it lightly, I always I challenge myself.
Yeah, Tyler never takes the easy route.
No, even when I want to take the easy route. But moving on to our main topic of today's podcast.
Today's main topic.
We are focusing on AI, artificial intelligence. If you live under a rock and don't know what that AI stands for, it's becoming a big thing.
Huge.
We've wanted to talk about it before, but we think now it's time to...
Well, both of us have started using it in different aspects of our life.
Yes.
So, and we actually thought that it'd be a good topic to talk about for people that, one, aren't always in the loop and know what's going on. So we actually thought that it'd be quite good to sort of sit down and talk about AI. So yeah, initial thoughts of AI.
So my thoughts, a few years ago it was kind of like I didn't really have much of an opinion on the matter. It was more of it's interesting seeing where things go and how things are developing in that type of world. But recently it's getting almost scary to the point where like there's so many things that are coming out that can do things that years ago we wouldn't even have fathomed. And it's kind of getting to the point where I'm like, wow, are we going to have a job in the next few years?
Yeah, that is one of the scary things, and we'll touch on it later on in the podcast.
Yeah.
But my main thing to you, I guess, is do you think, because this is what I think, the AI that we've got as the general public, it must be only the surface of what actual
absolutely.
AI can do. Because they're not going to let any general busybodies get AI.
Oh no, surely not. I mean, I think that's how it is for everything. There's always a layer underneath that we're not allowed access to. And if the public are allowed the technology we already have, you can only imagine what they've got under the surface and what they're working on that nobody really knows about.
Yeah, so I think that AI goes a lot deeper than what the general public genuinely see.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot deeper than that, but like that, it's one of them things where we will never really figure out until like 25 years down the line when they go, oh, look what AI can now do.
Yeah.
And it's actually the governments have been knowing this for the last sort of 30 years.
If anything, the technology that we're privy to now, I think that will probably already existed a few years ago.
Oh yeah,
like the chat GTP and things like that.
Just to put it in perspective, Facebook, they had a bunch of AI that they had programmed to do self-learning.
Mm-hmm.
They had to turn it off in something like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Because the AI computers were talking to each other in a language that they had created.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Basically just going rogue, so they had to pull the plug on it.
Yeah, it was the same thing as they've done it before. They've done tests where they've done like a simulation of like an AI or a kind of formulated as a self-learning technology, and they had to turn it off because it was just taking all this information and it was creating, like, it was developing such a fast rate that it was like, Jesus, is getting a bit,
getting a bit
scary. We need to pull the plug a little bit on this one. But it's one of those, it's an iffy question really, because I think that if AI is used in the right way, it could benefit things.
Oh yeah, it could definitely speed up things and benefit a lot of people.
And it could add to efficiency of jobs and whatever. But at the same token, if not treated the right way, or if they try and jump the gun, I think certain things could go wrong quite quickly. I think it's something we should feel quite cautious about in terms of...
Well, I think it's a big telling that like your people like your Elon Musk's, your Bill Gates, your Steve Jobs when he was alive, and people who are currently running Apple, they're very anti-AI. Very, very, very anti-AI. And you may go, oh yeah, well they've got Cortana and a Siri in it. They have like programmed the responses.
Yeah, it's very limited.
They're not like self-learning.
Yeah.
They go and basically they're just like a bigger, you ask it and it goes and searches Google for you.
It's basically an easier or more convenient way of Googling rather than have to go onto a web page.
Is there anything else that you think for your thoughts?
I mean, I find it interesting to see where things can go, but then like I said before, then you have that as a hesitation where it's like, oh, it's interesting, but oh, let's not go too far. I feel like you're treading waters that are a little bit too deep, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it's something I think we should be cautious about.
And so something that we should be cautious about. Do you want to tell the people what you use AI for?
Yes.
So that people can sort of see where you're using it or looking at using it in the near future.
Yeah, I've recently discovered a few different programs. In fact, I even discovered one today, just to put it out there. But the two main ones I've been using in my and
I think
work.
A lot of people will probably be using one of the ones that you're going to say.
Yes, most likely. I mean, most artists as well will know of this one. I mean, I don't use it in my artwork. I more use it for different styles of work because I use this to make things for people, like for commissions. But the program called Midjourney, which is a plugin you can use in Discord, and it will allow you to enter prompts and commands to produce artworks or different pictures that you kind of give it. So, for example, I could use commands and basically tell the program to make me a picture of a wolf howling at a moon, for example. Like I said, I don't use that as my artworks because I'm not doing any of the work myself. I consider it almost cheating to consider myself an artist.
It almost as like an idea.
Yeah, it's very good
to get
for
your creative juices flowing.
Oh yeah, sometimes I like to, if it's a very simplistic thing, you can use aspects of it. For example, if you create a 3D model or a model of just a subject, and then you incorporate that into an artwork itself, you're still doing the work. It's just you're adding a little piece to it. But Midjourney is really good for getting inspiration, seeing how lighting affects things from creative works that you can actually make yourself. Another one that I use is this is more of the business side of things rather than the creation of the artwork, but it's ChatGTP. A lot of people are knowing that one now. It's become very popular, and I use that for things for like my Etsy or things where I need to do a lot of writing or a lot of scripting, and where I need to put descriptions, titles, and sometimes I also use it to have creative ideas if I've got like a bit of an artist block, and I ask it to give me creative ideas on composites, and then I'll take bits of that and go, right, I can make something like this.
I could make something from what it said.
Yeah. The one I actually discovered today, which I will test it out with you later, it's an upscaling program where you can take basically, you know how, because a lot of the edits I end up getting ask me to adjust a phone photos.
Yeah.
And they're very low resolution. It's very hard. Yeah.
A lot of noise.
Yeah, but this program, you pretty much put it in and it upscales it, but it doesn't do a dodgy job. It upscales it to a really high resolution and it looks crisp.
Although it sounds like that would be very useful.
I'm going to show it.
Considering when we sometimes take a photo and we're like, oh god, that's not the sharpest it could have been.
Let's be honest, no one's going to walk around with a fucking camera all the time.
Yeah, but I also sometimes when you camera and you take a photo, you're like, oh,
yeah,
ISO was slightly wrong on that.
Yeah.
God, I fucked that up a little bit.
Yeah, so if you're taking like a selfie or any photo you want to enhance, it's really good for that.
Well, we don't know if it's good for that yet.
Well, we don't know yet. I can't remember the name of it as of right now. I literally saw it this morning on TikTok. Well, but I'll show it to you later. So
they're your thoughts.
That is mainly what I use in my work overall, to cover little things. There is a lot more programs I have not yet delved into, but those are the main ones.
Cool. So my thoughts.
So yeah, what do you, if you can give an overall your overview of what AI is, or like what do you think AI, your opinion of it, what would it be?
Well, I work in IT.
Exactly. So you're gonna have a.
So I'm not
more
saying
in-depth.
I have a different point of view. I just have like from a technical standpoint.
Yeah.
I sort of can see the benefits of it.
Mm.
My main thing is a little bit like what you said. I think it is great for automation, making things quicker, planning, ideas, etc. Not going to go over what you've said because it's pretty much the same. Just extremely worried if we take it to the extremes, are we going to end up with a world where nobody works because AI can just do everything? We want a marketing campaign. Just fucking, let's get AI to make it. Or, we need ideas for something. We'll just ask AI to do it. There'd be no human interaction of mind boards and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
If you can just get AI to do it all, will we just end up with a world where nobody works? Everybody is just there.
Yeah.
What that will do to the economic side of the world
is
another thing that worries me. Can it be used for, and I think this is another thing, can it be used for war?
That's the thing.
Political standpoints, getting votes, getting things like pushing an agenda. If you get AI to create Facebook accounts and the Facebook accounts all share the same things and they all like the same things, and you can get it to start forcing agendas, that's one thing that, because I'm not a political person, but I sort of know what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
It could be that, in the UK we have like two major parties, one medium-sized party, and then the rest are just sort of there. But can you get AI to start creating bots that pushes agendas, and then you get more people who see your ideologies, and then they start thinking like that as well, and then it snowballs and it snowballs and it snowballs.
Yeah.
So I think of it from that standpoint. I don't see
interesting.
because you're like, the artist side of it, and as I see it as like, can it be used for war? Can it be used for this? Can it be used for that? And I'm not saying that you're wrong, but you're right. Your thoughts were like, it can be great for artwork. Yeah. It can be good for work. And my ideas are like, what else can it be used for?
No, yeah.
Is it going to be used for creating lots of Facebook, TikTok, Facebook accounts? Is it going to start forcing agendas down people's throats? Do you know what I mean?
I definitely, I didn't. as much as like everything you were saying, I was like, damn, yeah, I wasn't thinking down that route. I fixated on kind of how it affects the artist world and that creative scene.
Yeah,
but absolutely,
so
absolutely.
I think, yeah, like, don't get me wrong, it has its pros and its cons. I think what we get is I think it's not even 1% of what AI can do.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it can do so much more. We'll touch later on some of our other thoughts on other topics that we've got written down. But I think that AI is something that should be used. We've got to move forward in the world. We can't just keep on doing the same stuff that we've always done, thinking it's always going to work.
Yeah.
So I think that we need to evolve and we need to develop along with it. But I think we need to know where the line is. We need to know not to cross the line. And we need to know that when we do cross the line, do we have a backup? Because all it takes is for AI, for example, and this is me just like delving into what could happen. AI knows that you're going to shut it down. So it sends itself to a computer randomly in America, randomly in the UK. It could be on this computer now. We don't know.
Yes.
And it sent itself to somewhere else so that it can carry on living and learning. And then when it gets to the all-power being, what's it going to do? Is it going to turn off the electric? Is it going to...
Yeah.
Because, in cities and stuff, it's all done by, like, communication. You shut off the communication to the sewage and the poo starts coming through the sewage. And then, then the traffic lights, they all stay on green. So, you've got car crashes everywhere.
Well, yeah, it's
a bit like Watch Dogs.
Yeah,
yeah.
Hack into it, yeah.
Just think of the stuff that it could do.
That's crazy.
And I think that's one thing that people always forget. They look at it can create me this artwork, or it can create me this piece of music, or it's giving me this really nice idea. When we should really be looking at the bigger picture.
That is the problem with society, though.
Humans are reactive, and I think we've said this before. We're not very proactive as a species.
Exactly.
So we'll wait for something to go wrong,
and then like, oh shit, now we need to do something about it.
We'll wait for it to go wrong before we then go, oh yeah, we should probably fix this.
I mean, it's like global warming, really, isn't it? I'm not gonna
fuck global warming.
We're
not. I mean, fuck it, as in we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, no,
we'll just get cancelled.
That's why I wanted to make the point. It's there, and now I'm moving.
Yeah,
on.
I didn't mean as in fuck global warming, it's not a thing. I meant fuck global warming. We're not talking about it because I think it's going to go very bad for us.
Yeah. Moving on.
Moving on.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's one of those things. It's like a study I saw where they did they used like supercomputer, and it had like something like 300 million like the memory storage or the rate it can learn.
And it can like learn and develop and do
and
this
it's kind of
that.
like, and you see it all the time on shows where it's like, they create an AI, it's doing this for them, that for them, and then all of a sudden it becomes sentient and it has its own intelligence. It's like, it's like it starts questioning itself, like, why am I alive? What's my purpose?
Yeah, and it's the what's my purpose is, I think,
is
one of the big things. When I think of I've only recently started using AI for myself.
Yeah.
Like what you said, from the business side of things. It's something that I've only recently started using in the last 2 weeks. Like mine's literally as of recent of mid-March 2023 is the first time that I used ChatGPT. And it's good. We come up with some of these ideas for the podcast using it, or we've got an idea but we're not sure how we can elaborate on it. We ask it how we can elaborate, what point should we touch on, trending topics, how can we approach something, so we use it from that standpoint just for the podcast. It come up with a great description for the podcast return. It's stuff that, it sounds silly, stuff that takes me 15-20 minutes to write up, think of something good. I can just go, write me a description. We did a video on this. We did this. We did this. We did this. We did this. And it just splurts it out. Don't get me wrong. I will go through and I will take some things out and I'll add some things in.
Sometimes it doesn't match the overall tone you're going for. But even then, like, you can chop it down and put it in. Like, for example, one thing I did for my description is after I created it and I was happy, I went into Grammarly and I just
checked the grammar,
checked everything like that, and then. There's like different websites you can go on to kind of change the tone of different things, or or kind of, if it's overly wordy, you can cut it down a little bit. And
so I it is useful. It's been useful for me. I'm not a great speller. I'm not great English wise.
No,
English is not my strong point. So having something there that is just gonna boop boop Yeah, go on, drink that cold tea.
I just realised I was this close.
My coffee's full, guys, and it's gone cold.
It's the fact that you looked at me and I was like, wait, I just realised that's cold. I can feel it too.
But yeah, like it has its great aspects for things like that. It means that I don't have to sit and work out how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it takes some of the nitty gritty out.
Some of the nitty gritty out for me, and it makes things a lot easier for me to sort of get around.
Yeah, so it does have its benefits. It's like,
it definitely has its benefits.
It's just one of those things where it's like, well, that's when you can start asking questions like, what if this happens? What if this? Blah 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 blah. And like you said, when you got big names, big people that are kind of talking about it
and telling us not
and
to
telling
use
us
it, or we need to be careful.
You need to slow down. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they're right, but they're in that industry, so they know what's going on. Where's it going is your real question. There are our thoughts. There are our thoughts on AI.
Yeah, there's our own personal opinion. Some people may love it, some people may hate it. It's a varied topic. There's, I think, like Dan said, we have a bit of a lack of understanding of it because I think it delves a lot deeper than us.
I think that people go, oh yeah, like this thing, it just makes my work but it's like, okay, like, and it's as silly as this, right? ChatGPT. We probably know the creator. I've not done enough research to go and find out.
Yeah.
But like, we probably know the creator. Do we know where that data is being stored? Do we know if that data is secure? Do you know if the questions that you're asking, how long are they stored for? Is it collecting data on the people that people are using? So when you go, oh, can you create me da-da-da-da? Can you da-da-da-da? You go, okay, I'm being asked to do a lot of creative stuff. Okay. The guy may go away and go, right, okay, let's go figure out more about this topic. Or, okay, these people are asking these questions. Let's push an agenda. Because even though the AI, from what we say, is like, oh yeah, it'll go away, and ChatGPT is a very intelligent Siri/Google assistant. It goes away. Do you know what I mean? It's still very much like, here's a question, here's the answer, here's how I would do it, here's a list of this, here's how I would write this. But you go, oh, what do you think of... I don't know what it does. I've never seen... What do you think of black people? What do you think of white people? What do you think of Nazis? What do you think of... Because for some people who are mentally ill or not stable, what do you think of Nazis? Oh, well, the Nazis, they and depending on what the answer is, it could solidify their ideologies already. I
do want to, because one thing we've never actually done on ChatGPT is actually ask it a question. Like, what's your opinion of?
Yeah.
Wait, should I do it?
You won't have signal in here.
Oh, no,
one of my jobs that I need to do, get internet to be
fair,
the studio.
In all fairness, I did have 4G in here earlier, but
I think if you literally go step out the door,
I've got a big no sign.
But
on
yeah,
my
like
thing
that is the thing of what will it do when you start asking it political questions? Will it just be impartial and go, I can't answer that, or will it go, well, these people do these stuff right, and this.
I think it does, but I think, like, for example, when you have the paid version of ChatGPT 4. I think the more it advances, I think the more risky those questions are going to be.
Like that,
it's like you've seen videos of people asking Siri certain questions
but you've got to think, like, it remembers what you've said before in the chat. So when you have a paid version, you must have an account. So it must store your questions.
It does
somewhere.
It stores history. Yeah.
Right. So you tell it things. Will it start solidifying your own ideologies? If you keep on asking it certain questions and you want to get a certain answer, will it then solidify your own ideologies, or will it be impartial and go, they aren't very good people, or they've done this or they've done that, or is it going to just solidify what you already want in your head?
Yeah, that's where you get to that barrier, really, of like, how advanced can they make it without making it self-aware of certain things, or developing its own ideologies of things based on the information it's getting.
Yeah.
And that's where the risk point gets. And then like you said, when you have people that aren't, let's say, mentally well, that ask certain questions, or because there was things where people, I think, before they limited it, they were asking how to make bombs and things like that. Like,
that's it.
And it was giving them a fucking...
But this is what I mean, like, people who are terrorists, or people that are unwell, and people that are wanting to do and cause damage, that's what they've got to ask. How do I make it... Because I don't know how to, just throwing it out there, but they say that you can make a bomb from your kitchen appliances.
Yeah,
Like
I've
bleach.
heard of that.
So if you ask and you've just got that in your kitchen sink, boom, you've got a bomb.
Yeah.
We should probably stop saying bombs.
Yeah, before we get cancelled and get reported for terrorism, let's move to a different.
Well, I think that sort of is a natural.
Yeah.
We've got our thoughts and opinions. It's good, but it's scary. Something that we should probably learn more about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll go into an intermission. We're gonna get some drinks that are actually warm.
Yeah.
Or just drinks in general.
I mean, FYI, these drinks were cold when we started the podcast. These are as a little secret. These are aesthetically.
And you can't even see them on the thing. So
no, and you can't. So it's pretty much pointless anyway.
Yeah, but we'll catch you in a break.
We are back.
We're back. We're live.
We're back, and we've refreshed the drinks.
Drinks are actually hot.
They're no longer cold, and we're ready to go.
And we're ready. So this second half. One sec. Sorry, I'm having some mic difficulties.
Every time.
One sec.
So this second half, we want to briefly go in. So the first half was mainly about our thoughts, our predictions, and worries about AI and certain brief things like that. And we touched on things that we use in terms of AI in our daily life and in our artworks and whatever. This second half, we want to go more into bullet points and work on like certain things incorporated with AI. So just a pointer as well on this intermission. We did speak. We went away, and then while we were sorting the drinks out, I actually used ChatGPT and asked it a, let's say, controversial question, and I asked it, "What is your opinion on Nazis?" Now, the response I got back, as I expected, was basically saying
very
it's
politically correct.
Yeah, it was I am a language AI model. Basically, I don't have any beliefs or opinions, which is what I thought it would be like. But
yeah.
It was interesting to ask the question nonetheless. Now, a big point that I'll ask you, Dan, first. This time we'll swap it.
Yes. Yes, sir.
The future of work. So, what do you see? I mean, especially
So
our business.
I'll do Mason, how it will affect Mason Productions.
Yeah.
And then I'll think about it as a general scope.
Yeah, okay, go for it like that way.
So I one sec, my phone is zipped. Right, so I actually think that for Mason Productions, I actually think it's going to be a negative. So we're gonna actually touch on probably all of these topics as I explain this.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very bad for Mason Productions, not just for basically what I'm trying to get at is that it is now AI can now create all of the artwork that we go away and make. It is terrifying to think that if you say, I want you to create this sandy beach with a lighthouse here, with this type of lighting, with this shadow here, with the focus being on this, it will go away and it will generate that. It takes away the, people that like that, there's no human aspect to it. It just goes away and does it.
Yeah.
Then it means that the market then becomes very competitive in such a small market.
Yeah.
So then the only thing that you can't AI generate, in theory, wedding photos, family photos, and like baby photos. So then you shrink the market from like landscape photographers, nature photographers, to then live event, weddings, baby shoots. You narrow it all down. Every photographer in the world can go to that, because what's the, in the nicest possible way, what's the fucking point if AI can create everything? The only thing that I will say that will benefit people, and this is my little how-to, the only thing that's going to save your photography business is a YouTube channel or a podcast. If you can get your personality out there, and you can explain your creative processes on how you like to take photos and how you like to tell a story, people will still buy your work.
Yeah.
If you don't have an audience, good luck.
You need to have that personality, and also that kind of touch of, like you said, when you have that personality, that is something that AI can't replicate.
AI can't replicate that, so that's what's going to sell you. But that's scary that it won't come down to skill anymore. To a certain aspect.
To a certain aspect, yeah.
It will come down to your personality, how well you can sell yourself, and stuff like that. It doesn't just affect photography. It affects videography, animators, musicians, actors. Looking at some of our bullet points here, artists, like actual people that paint, marketing, because you can basically get it to create you a marketing. Customer service has pretty much gone out the window already. A lot of big companies have got AI responses where they've got like, "Hi, I'm a bot, and I will try and help you before I pass you through to a real person." That's to try and limit the amount of people that get to real people.
It's to filter out the stupid, or without any insulting, that, for example, the people that with lack of knowledge who can't do the simpler things, that the bot can go, right, just do this. Unless you have like a real problem, like you said, it will filter all that out.
Yeah. So, we literally just saw, just before we came back, AI that creates animation from things that you have filmed.
Mm-hmm.
So we could have this animated right now.
Yeah, I was literally just doing some backwards, out of the zone research, and I ended up coming across this video where you can pretty much film yourself, and then the AI will track your model of and
it will create
a
3D model,
and it will create its own CGI,
and then you can tell it what you want. So it doesn't just affect like us as a photography business, because we are moving into live events, but like your job is massively in jeopardy.
Yeah. So this
and I don't mean, and I'm just saying this, I would never do this, but I could be like, create a logo, AI.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You need to incorporate this, and this. Go.
This is what I wanted to touch on, but first.
Oh shit, we've not turned the lights on.
Oh, let me just.
Why did it do almost like one at a time there?
I don't know. But that one nearly came.
Yeah, that one thought about it.
Anyway. Sorry about that. So before you get onto a topic that I haven't, before I discuss my thoughts on it, if you want to explain how you think the world of work will be impacted by AI as a general scheme, not focusing on
humans will have less jobs.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line, yeah.
And this is going to sound silly, but I'm going to touch on something that Tyler brought up to me in the break as well. There is now an AI app that can be your girlfriend, or you can chat to.
Yeah,
right.
Essentially,
right?
Yeah.
So you think about, right? You've already got self-service checkouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the only reason, in theory, we still have people at checkouts is because there's still older generations.
Once that
older generation dies and everybody is used to self-checkout, why would you not have an AI? It could just be a TV screen or a monitor that's got somebody's face on it and it talks to you. How's your day been?
Yeah.
You reply to it. Oh, well, it's raining outside, isn't it? Because it can see the Met Office and all of that. So, we're already going down the route of where we're not going to have cashiers. Then you think of just everything is going to be affected. If you can get AI on the phone where it's self-learning, and you, from an IT point of view, and you ring up and you go, oh, I'm having this issue with this computer. Oh, have you tried doing so-and-so? Have you tried doing this? Have you tried doing that? And if it gets to the point where it learns how it can control other computers through like remote desktop softwares or the means, it can then go and do the shit that we would do as IT technicians.
Yeah.
We're going down a slippery slope where I think that we could end up where there'll be no humans in any jobs unless it's something physical, like brickies, plumbers.
Like my job, for example. My job includes a lot of things I have to do.
Also,
but you can.
When I think of AI, I just don't think of somebody that goes, "Here's an answer for this." I think of AI robots.
Oh no, yeah.
Robots, like in the nicest possible way. In a factory, you could have it where there's a mini forklift that just goes around and picks up pallets and
having said that, there's already forks that are wireless. You can remote control them. I know that's not AI, but that's also that's a hint at basically what it could be.
So yeah, my overall thought is that it will benefit businesses' profits and turnover, because if let's say that AI only costs X amount, and you can bin off all of your workers, you haven't got to pay overheads, pensions, taxes, You've only got to pay for electric, because you could have a 24-hour service then, where somebody just rings up, you speak to them, they get it sorted.
Exactly.
So,
I think
we'll touch more on what I've said about the art, music, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just want to ask you, like, where do you see AI in the future of Mason Productions?
Yeah.
And in the world that we are living today, what do you see it doing?
Like you said earlier, like you touched on, I think my job in Mason Productions is a lot more in jeopardy than yours now, because your main focus is personal. You go out there, AI can't take the photos for you. That's something they can never really replace. The wedding photos, the photo shoots, things like that. That is never going to change. But things that are digitally based, like my job, where I'm editing stuff or I'm adjusting this,
I was
or
gonna just about
creating
to say,
artwork.
half of my job would be redundant. The editing part.
Yeah, no,
almost could be pushed off to AI to autocorrect to have the perfect
but,
image.
But in that aspect, that you can kind of get around that by just speeding up your work process, because you still can do the nitty gritty part of it. Whereas mine, it's almost kind of like I can incorporate AI into my work,
but then it's not your work.
But then and
you just click a button
and that's the annoying part about it. I mean,
you've basically dedicated the last 3 years to even before Motion Productions, like the last 3 years of learning something.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. If AI takes over, I will never consider it a waste of my time, because I love that feeling of being able to create something, and I will still do that. I think
there'll become a niche where like you could do live work on YouTube.
Yeah, no,
so you can still get your personality.
There's a lot of ideas I have, and I'm excited to incorporate. Like, I'm going to be doing speed arts, and
so you can show every single step.
Exactly.
You can show your personality.
And a lot of people, there will be, and I know there's a lot of people, I mean, Dan will know less of this because he's not more of the digital side of it, but I know there's a lot of people that I'm friends with, artists, and they're going into this battle of artist versus AI, because it's a big thing where it's like...
But unfortunately, AI can do it quicker and just as good, if not better.
No, there's the detail. I mean, I've shown Dan me using Midjourney and the type of images I can create, and it's incredible how much detail and how much kind of like...
And you'll almost never get the same image twice. Because
no, there's always an adjustment.
But nobody will get the same picture as you, because the wording that they've used will never be the same as yours.
No, yeah, there's specific prompts to add a certain art style or a certain vibe or things like that, but it will always have a difference to it. Like, yeah, that is true, unless you just copy someone's prompt. Because I know there's people that will give you certain prompts to produce a certain type of artwork. I know I've seen things like that on Fiverr and whatnot. But in terms of the future of work, it scares me. I mean, I don't think it will fully replace artists, because there will always be that population of people that don't, because as much as you can, AI will take over on efficiency and all this, you still need to have a level of understanding and skill to know what to put it. Like, for example, Midjourney.
Yeah, but you almost then become like an AI assistant.
Almost, yeah, which is... But I think there'll always be people out there who want that personalised thing, who want that kind of knowing that someone made that for them. No,
and I think you're right, and I think there always will be people, but how long on?
Absolutely.
And how much that market is something we'll have to discuss.
But like you said, I think the market will shrink down a little bit in terms of capability, like things like remote work and niches where it's like I need someone to edit this out.
There's no niches anymore.
Oh no, exactly.
Like you're not a specialist in something because
Exactly.
AI can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Because you might be a specialist in lighting, for example, of getting that rays of light coming
Yeah.
through an image. Not no more, you're not.
No, exactly.
But also, like let's say like you charge £50 an hour. Let's just say.
Mm-hmm.
But AI, you're only spending, I don't know, £10 a month.
Yeah.
From a money point of view as well, you can see why people will be drawn to it.
Well, it's a much faster return because you're getting the image straight away. There's no processing time. There's no.
Other than the small wait that you have while it does it.
Oh,
But
that's nothing.
It's hardly waiting.
No, absolutely not. And then you've got the appraisals, or then you've got the
adjustments.
You don't. There's no right. I'll send this back. I'll do this. It's kind of like I don't like this. I'll just keep on generating it till I have something I want.
Okay, so let's move away from Mason Productions and art and photography, videography. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about the music industry real quick.
Yeah.
And then we'll move on to the last two topics there.
Yeah, there's we've looked at so many different AI. We've covered videography. We've covered
and the animation type side.
And the animation, and I just saw that a few minutes ago. We've covered things like, for example, the funny side of it. Well,
we haven't really covered that, but I don't think it's a bad idea having an AI girlfriend because people are genuinely lonely.
No, there is people out there.
Or
sadly,
you may want to have a bit of fun at night.
Or you may want to, yeah. Low key, it's good to test out your chat up lines, or maybe
okay, yeah,
maybe your dirty talk.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, you know. Yeah. But moving on.
Tyler's not done that. Well, I don't know.
Now you're making me look bad. Let's move on.
You said it.
I was trying to get fine.
You said it.
We're
not judging if that's what you're doing.
No, right, and let's move on before Dan makes me look any more like a sad person. Okay, music
industry. Let's think about let's put your brother's head on. Your brother's getting a lot of mentions recently, but okay.
Shout out to my brother.
We'll put little Bowser head on.
Blondie Bowser, yeah.
He is incredible at playing
guitar. Yeah,
the guitar, right? The guitar. It almost makes, because like you could say AI, I want this type of chord or I want this type of beat and I want it to switch after 16 bars or 12 bars or I want this type of 808 bass, I want this, and it will just go away and it will make it. That will affect producers. It won't affect vocal artists.
No,
as
producers,
but
absolutely.
Saying that, AI is now getting good at vocals.
Yeah, no, there's
some that are very good.
There is,
or some AI that is incredibly good at
mimic it, auto-tune things.
The auto-tune. So
yeah,
I could sing, and AI will pitch me where I should actually be.
I have seen that, and there is, as we said before, with other types of fields, there is now AI that can make beats for you.
So producers makers. Producers is different. Yet again, AI could do it where it's like, my voice is too loud, so let's bring it down. Let's mix it. Let's add this effect. Let's add this bit of auto-tune. Let's add this bit of reverb. AI can do that. So it will affect pretty much. It could kill the music industry.
I think
very much how it could kill every industry. But
yeah, I don't think it will ever. I don't think
nothing will take away from seeing a band live.
No, absolutely not. There's no other feeling, and we've both been to live events. There's no other feeling because you can't replicate that energy or that feeling of when. And I'll say this all the time. When I went to my first festival in Vienna, Will Sparks, never seen him before.
Don't know who he is. But Will Sparks.
He's like
EDM
type electronic music. Never seen him before. The others, I was a bit nervous about dancing. I'm an introverted guy. And I was 18 at the time, and this guy comes on and he starts shouting. He's like, "Right, and he's with his proper Aussie accent."
Oh, is he Australian?
Yeah.
Oh, even better.
Even better, yeah. And no one else did this. He jumped on the decks, started jumping. On the drop, he jumps 360s in the air and lands on the stage as the beat hits, and the whole place started vibrating. I never felt so much energy. I just couldn't help but dance. It was amazing. And then it started raining at the same time. It was such an incredible experience. I don't think AI could ever replace that.
AI will never replace that. You are right. But for the fact that people that are like more album
based, yeah, like Spotify and things like that.
No, but like people who like their voice, they're only famous because of like their auto tune and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Their live shows are never really as good because.
No, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
it could be
yeah.
like people who are very album based. They could drop, you know, more albums, more singles. So I think it could affect the music industry quite heavily.
I think it will affect it in some way in the future, regardless. It's got like with the
But
way
it's like
everything's
that, like,
advancing so quickly.
Like I've thought about it, like, oh, I've got this beat from this producer, but I don't quite like this part. I could just ask AI to just change some of it. As like with that human element, people get defensive as well. Well, I made it like that for a reason. Oh, do you know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
people get a bit
You can avoid a lot of back and forth and confrontation.
Oh, well, I edited it like that because that's actually what you described to me the first time. AI is going to go, okay, thank you.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Absolutely. Like we said, there's a personalization touch. But the way everything's advancing, you can only go further with AI. There's only going to be more advancements. There's only going to be more personalization. It's only going to be able to understand more. So it's going to be.
We are at the tip of the iceberg, and I think every industry I've written down here, like finance.
Yep.
If I don't need an accountant anymore, and I can just get AI to do all of my tax returns and
all
of that.
I guarantee it'll end up being cheaper.
Oh yeah, because accountants are expensive.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and like,
so the things that like literature, books. It could write a book. It could be a best-selling book.
I have done it. I did this thing before.
Tyler just sits on AI all day long.
No. I spent like an hour just testing out things because I was genuinely curious about what it can do, and I basically asked it. I went, write me, because I saw some work on Upwork, and I was like, I'm curious about this now.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to AI and I said, as an expert, write me a children's story, roughly 350 words, about a boy who discovers a dragon. Wrote it perfectly.
Oh shit!
And that was just a short story.
Yeah.
It can write. There's people that are writing books off it and then selling it on Amazon.
That's what I mean. That writer's block becomes not a thing, and it creates books.
And it also and even to email marketing, it can create email scripts and templates so you hardly have to do any of the work. It's just a case of typing it, enter, and then pasting it onto a email like Gmail or something like that.
Yeah. So I think we've covered everything. I think let's have our conclusive thoughts.
So
overall rounded.
Yeah. Overall, being an open person I find it very interesting because this is something new. We've never seen or experienced this before. But on the same token, being in the field that I am, it's also quite intimidating, a little bit scary. And I think maybe in the future, artists are going to have to learn to. It's like one of those things. If you can't beat them, join them type of situation where if you don't want to use AI, you're just going to fall off. And
Yeah, and that's the worrying thing.
That is a worrying thing. But like we said, we never know how the future's going to play out. We can only estimate.
We're still going to be here, still doing our thing.
That's why we've got the podcast. AI can't replicate this. This is raw, natural. You get to know me, you get to know Dan, but overall, I'm curious to see how it's going to play out in the future of AI. Dan?
AI is going to be in every industry.
Yep.
Ranging from farming to IT to TV to creative workspaces. It's going to be in every industry. At what degree, I don't know. But it will be in every industry. And it will have some positives and it will have some negatives. And I think that's where, like that, I'm open. I want to use it to utilise to make Mason Productions better. But I do have my reserves on it.
One thing I will touch on, I do think a field that will increase, as AI does, will be AI detection tools. So, because I know a lot...
Oh, yeah, so like people, you'll get a tool that will know if AI's made it. And I think that will be good for artists once it's developed and it can pick up things. But then your worry is that as one catches up to the other, they're always playing cat and mouse.
Yeah, I think it will be a bit of a cat and mouse
game. It's a bit like gamers and hackers. You can have your anti-cheat, but you'll always get cheaters, and then they patch that, and within a few days they've got a new hack.
It's gonna, but then again, that's a constant income. It was something that will never die because you constantly having to upgrade or monitor that
So
software.
it's then how powerful will AI get before it dies, or you have to join it?
Yeah, no, that is.
And my question to you guys is, will you be a part of the AI hype train? The AI, I'm saying it a bit weird, I think. The artificial intelligence scheme, will you be for it or against it? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
down
let
below.
us know your opinions of things. What you thought. Whether you're against or for AI, your experiences with AI. Maybe you guys use some apps or software that we haven't touched on or spoke about. We're always curious to know and find out more.
So yeah, it's been another ep,
Another rep.
and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this one.
Yeah, it's
Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm taking very.
I was trying to cover it,
I'm
but then you
like-
carried
I'm
on.
I don't know why I'm putting long pauses. Like I'm trying to make it dramatic. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. It's been another great episode. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Please let us know down in the comment section down below. I'm going to do the plug at the end because I haven't plugged any of the other episodes.
Yeah,
Like,
I've forgotten
comment,
about that.
subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Book us in for some work, and we'll catch you in the near future.
It's been Tyler from Mason Productions.
And
Peace.
catch you later.